made by, I think is it, I want to say, is it Beastie Boys?
No.
Is it Rage Against the Machine?
No. You were closer when you said Beastie Boys.
Who is it? Cypress? Nah.
Ladies love Cool James.
Nah, yeah, you got me.
LL Cool J.
Yeah, you got me. I guess I told you.
Wait, you don't know who LL is?
I know who he is.
Oh,
I just
was
don't,
like,
I just don't know the music.
motherfucker.
You have to understand something.
Oh, I'm bad. I'm bad. Jesus.
Like, if it doesn't make me giggle, it's not gonna stay in my head. Like, if I can't think of something, if there's not a line in there that makes me laugh, I just
Everything has to be funny.
Yeah, exactly how it works. Otherwise,
see, I spend all the time like laughing and being funny, but like when I'm listening to stuff or watching stuff, I don't really want to laugh very much. Like, I want it to be like either informative or disturbing. So like silly doesn't stick.
Yeah.
Silly sticks with you. Silly sticks.
Everything else is all serious. It's all, you gotta do this thing with the job, and then you gotta get your paycheck in, and then make sure your hours are right. I'm like, all right, thanks, boss man. Now let's talk about something ridiculous.
Let's talk about something ridiculous.
Let's see now.
We have many things to discuss on today's podcast.
We do. First thing, let me do a spot check. Hi. Whoa. Greetings, humans.
What humans?
LL is a little liquor or a little lip liquor. There you go.
Yes, he goes like this. That's his move. That's his move. That's like his low key, I'm not trying to be sexy, I'm trying to be sexy move. He looks at chicks and he'll be like, let me look right at the camera and do it. Here we go. This is LL. What's up, girl?
Okay.
That's LL.
With that.
That's real. That's what he does.
Everybody has theirs. We know what yours is. I don't know what mine is.
Shut the fuck up. Everyone doesn't know my moves. Everyone didn't listen to every single episode, Anthony.
Anyway.
Yes. Holy shit. Is this 129? No.
It's
130?
Yes.
We're in the 130s now?
Yes.
Jesus. That's so exciting, Anthony.
It is.
130 times we've gotten before these mics, sat in chairs just like this, and delivered to you a podcast. We've done our best.
Yeah.
We've done our best not to let you down, not to skip episodes, because we fucking love you. Because we love you. And because we love you, we're willing to ask scary questions like, is the Floyd fight a work? Like, what's the real root reason that people don't allow shoes on their mats? I ask these questions with an open mind and earnest intentions. And I ask them publicly and openly and fucking without any fear of judgment. Because most of the people that get upset about shit like this literally haven't fucking thought about it. And with that, I say, Anthony, we start the show.
Let's do that just because we had a little droppage in quality and it was kind of awkward for a second.
It's back though, right? I see a green square.
It's green. I'm waiting for you two to catch up to it.
I see it looks green to me. Super green.
It's green, but we look like
super green.
We look like potatoes on YouTube.
Potatoes?
Potatoes. I'll show you what potatoes look like.
Should I take off my fucking...
This is what potatoes look
like.
like.
Should I de-Wi-Fi over here?
You might have to.
I'm de-Wi-Fiing.
Yeah, catch up. I'm de-Wi-Fiing too.
And get off this Wi-Fi.
This Wi-Fi.
Let's try to free it up a little bit.
Yeah, what's that?
Now to try to free me up. What?
Open up more lanes.
Rehabilitate it, man. I still feel hatred, Anthony.
Yes, you do. About shoes. Shoes?
You know why I feel hatred?
About shoes.
I don't think it's the shoes. I think it's people don't really read what I write.
All right, well, let's... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, listeners. I didn't mean to bump you like that. Let me look up... Let me go on the old Facebook and see what...
And I have more thoughts on this topic.
Young Darren wrote about.
That I didn't, put into the ether because I wanted to get actual feedback from people.
Oh, change your picture.
Just for a day.
He's a young man.
I said it literally for one day. It's on a timer. Seriously.
That's funny.
24 hours after I said it, it'll go back to being the flag.
So, would you like to read it or should I read it? I think it's better coming out of your voice because everybody wants to hear it like that.
All right, you want to put it up on the screen for me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, for all I know, there's typos in here, so I'm just going to use this. I'm going to basically read this, but if it gets dicey, it's just going to be an inspiration for what I have to say.
Okay.
Let me move some of this motherfucking liquor away from the screen. All right, so 7 hours ago, before there were 48 comments on my Facebook, and like, you gotta remember, guys, like, I'm not famous. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. Nobody gives a fuck about me. So if 48 comments show up on my Facebook, that's like breaking my little section of the internet. Like, there was a time where there was more attention on me, but I don't give a fuck. Like, 48 comments, that's like a month's worth of comments. That's like a month's worth of comments. So I said, no shoes on the mat. When I was a kid, I felt like wrestling should be... I felt like the wrestling mat... See, I knew it was going to be fucked up. I felt like the wrestling mat should be defended against street shoes at all cost. But I was never told directly why. Sometimes, people would mention ringworm, but they never pointed to anything truly solid that I can remember. But I was prepared to die on that hill anyway. When I started jiu-jitsu, the same energy came from the no shoes camp, but they added a new word, respect, and it resonated with me. In a real way, I was prepared to fight human beings over this idea. I was supported only by vague ideas. Then, I saw a multiple-time NCAA champion, wrestler, walk across the wrestling mat in his shoes. It blew my fucking mind. I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Like...
Who was it?
I'm not naming names.
Oh, okay.
Because he's famous.
All right.
And I'm not trying to be like, this guy does it, so blah, blah, blah.
Sounds okay.
But I saw this dude do this, and I was like, nobody's going to trip? And then I was like, well, maybe it's because he's a national champ. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
No one's trying to trip, because he will whoop their ass. Maybe that's what it is. But then I saw other people doing it. And I was like, in the culture of wrestling, it's no longer as sacred as it once was. Now, do I think dudes just walk across the mat all willy-nilly at all hours and just like it doesn't fucking matter at all anymore? No. But I think they know they're going to clean the mat before it is used and directly after it is used. So they don't trip that hard. That's just what I think.
All right.
So, I said, but instead of getting offended, I asked myself, is this idea truly important? And I decided that it isn't at all. I don't go out of my way to walk on my mats, but I do it every day. Respect is not displayed by the removal of shoes. That's someone else's idea, not yours, and it has nothing to do with grappling. I respect the views of others on this issue. When I train at other academies, I honor their traditions. But I really want to know if people have been told anything besides respect and ringworm as the reasons for the no shoes law. I love each and every one of you. I swear I do. But I can't help but challenge every idea. It's my nature. XOXO. Now, some people gave me intelligent responses.
The feedback.
All of them were worded intelligently. But I was really specific about what kind of feedback I was looking for. I was like, okay, respect, ringworm. And when I say ringworm, I'm not just referring to ringworm. I'm literally just saying skin shit.
All diseases.
Is that understood?
I mean,
or do you think I should have said skin irritation?
I think you should have been just covered your bases and just been very broad. Just because it's just.
Daddy would have been like, you weren't careful with your words, Darren.
Yeah, you should have just been broad skin diseases because everybody's like, well, what about MRSA?
What about MRSA? What about impetigo? And I'm like, nigga, how about like, let's discuss the spirit of the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew what the fuck I was talking about. Cleanliness. Respect.
Hygiene.
Yeah.
Let's just say hygiene, just for lack of better words.
So, those are the two reasons. Hygiene, respect. Shoelessness does not equal respect. I can think that you're a piece of shit barefoot. Like, that's not respect. My shoes are off means I respect you? Get the fuck out of here. That's not it. That's not the reason. Now, do I think it's a good idea to not wear shoes that were outside and put them on the mat?
Correct.
I do think that's a good idea.
It's logical. It makes sense. It's a
I do think that's a good idea. I think it's a good practice.
A reasonable person would say
Do I think it is okay for you just to take your socks off and step onto the mat? Sure, dude, I'm not going to trip. But if I clean the bottom of my shoes with alcohol and bleach more than once a day, and you go to work all day, and you take off your sweaty fucking shoes, and you peel off your sweaty socks and you might bother to brush the lint off of them or you might not. And then you step on my mat. Is the running shoe that I wear inside my building dirtier than your foot, or is your foot dirtier than my running shoe? I'm going to bet it's your foot. But it's probably even fucking money. It's probably even fucking money. So, like, I'm really not that stressed about it. Again, I'm not saying, like, people should just, like, step on the mat with their shoes and get them dirty and try to ruin them. But I was looking for answers besides cleanliness and respect. And 90% of the fucking answers I got back were, what about cleanliness? And what about respect? And I'm like, I mean, okay, granted, but motherfucker, did you read this? Or did you just react?
Shoot.
I think you just reacted.
Shoes.
I think you just reacted like you just nodded when whoever put that idea in your head said, this is what we do and this is why. We don't wear shoes on the mat ever. Okay. Why? No one ever asked why, including me.
I just thought it was because it was supposed to be like you wear what you compete in. So like you wear a gi.
Now, I think that's the most reasonable reason to wear no shoes.
Yeah.
If you're competing, you can't wear wrestling shoes.
Right.
So you shouldn't train in them.
Right.
That I believe in.
That was the only thing I ever thought.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Now, I have a personal case right now where my feet are injured to the point where without wrestling shoes, I really can't train. So I'm going to wear them. And when I have competed, I've competed barefoot recently. With what, half success and half failure?
Yeah.
But like, I'm not trying to make excuses. Like, it's hard for me to fucking move. I can't like walk and shift my weight properly on my bare feet anymore. So I wear wrestling shoes in the academy. But of course, if I have to compete, I just suck it up and act like it doesn't hurt that much. And the adrenaline does help. So I wear wrestling shoes because I have to.
Yeah.
But I do think, yes, a good reason to be barefoot on the mat is that you compete barefoot.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that somebody said was like, hey, like, you could get a small piece of glass or a small pebble on your mat, and it could really do a lot of damage, actually. Because a single mat is quite expensive.
Right.
Like a tatami mat.
Right.
And I was like, now that's a good point. Because it's still cleanliness, but it's not the same kind of cleanliness that they're talking about. They're talking about how it's going to get dirty. It's either going to be gross, like, ew, there's poop on me. That was another thing. People were like, oh, there's fecal matter everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if I rub the back and the front of your hand,
How much fecal matter will be on
how much fecal matter is on that?
A lot.
How much is in your hair?
A lot.
Like, I don't want to act like this is a serious deal. Like, this is not my hill to die on. I'm not like, we need shoes on the mat. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe you shouldn't trip, though. Like, if all we're tripping about are things that are rooted in Japanese culture, and most of us aren't Japanese, if you need tradition in your life, I think you should make your own. In general. Now, if you want to follow that tradition, that's fine. But I think you should hold the pride about it a little more loosely. Because, like, real talk, I was prepared to fight people over this issue. Like, if you had stepped on the mat in your shoes.
Oh, I know. I got an ear beating from you before I even knew you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an ear beating.
All right, so I'm not making this up.
I got an ear beating.
I was one of these hard-line motherfuckers.
I got an ear beating. I was just like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, this guy's crazy. Oh, he has a black belt. I gotta nut up.
Well, I am crazy. That's a factor.
Yeah, but it was like for different reasons. I'm like, this is just a shoe, dog.
What did I say? Do you remember?
So you need to go back in there. I mean, who's your coach? So you need to
Where
go back.
was this?
This was in Dustin's old school.
So what happened?
So basically, what it was is like I was just like, cause it was like my first tournament ever, and like I saw one of my friends competing, and I stepped on the mat because I was like just like coaching them, yelling whatever, and you're like, hey, like what are you doing? Like you just yelled at me in front of everybody. This is like,
thank you, bro. I'm glad you still like me. I'm glad we're friends. That's hilarious. All right, finish the story.
So you just basically like just berated me in front of people. Like, yeah, if you were at my academy, like, no, this wouldn't be acceptable at all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I don't do this in my academy either. But like, I also know that it's just a shoe.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to kill anybody.
You weren't truly indoctrinated.
I'm not. Well, I wasn't even truly indoctrinated. Like, It was just that like I'm nowhere near any action. Like I'm at the edge of the mat where nobody's battling for inches right here.
Yeah.
So I'm cool.
Yeah.
But now I got just destroyed, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh.
Oh yeah, I was prepared to die on that hill.
And I was like, man, and I was just like, and then like 2 years later, oh, you want to go? You should train with this guy. I'm like, no,
Not that guy.
no.
That's the guy that fucking yelled at me.
So you should train with him, Anthony. He's a really good guy. And then here I am.
Here we are. Now we're friends. Now you're in my basement. Now we've hung out on the internet over 130 times. Meanwhile, it started with what the fuck are you doing?
I got 2 of them from you.
What?
There was another time where like this was like
I used to be a real cunt then.
like it was like so this was like 2 separate times in the same place. The first time was just because like I never like went to the bathroom when I did jujitsu, so I never had the thought in my head like so like because I would just go from like I would just come train and then go to the changing room and go home. So there was no like I never brought sandals because I never like why would I go to the bathroom when I'm training because like that's not how it works. I paid money to be here. And so, like, I'm coming in to go weigh in. They do the weigh-ins in, like, the bathroom or whatever it was, I think, at the time. And you lost it there, too. So I was like, this guy's just out to get me.
Well, one.
That one makes more sense. But nobody, it's like, I never ever was going to have that issue because I never ever walked in the place that I needed to not walk into. So I guess it's just like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the other one was like, damn, dude. Damn.
I'm not surprised that I went in on you hard. I'm not surprised that I went in. But, yeah, man, I used to be really fucking militant about that. And it's like, it's not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing. Like, when someone does that, you could just spot clean it. It's not like, no one's going to die. You spot clean it, and you move on with the day. So, I just thought that was a funny little thing.
Yeah. So, what were some of the top things that you thought were brilliant you got from this post? And do you want to shout those people out if you can remember them?
I'm not really trying to shout out any individuals. The one thing that I thought was brilliant was my homeboy Dan Hart out of Woodstock, Illinois. And he was like, we wash our feet right next to the mat. And I was like, now you're talking. Like, if that's the policy, that's an iron, that's like solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, if I clean off my shoe bottoms, I bet they're cleaner than the bottoms of your sweaty fucking feet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, shoes are not magically dirty because they're shoes. Like, they have to get dirty. Therefore, they could get clean. Like, it's just a silly thing. And here's what's even sillier. I know how much it turns people's stomachs when they see it. Like, they see it and they're like, oh, he's got shoes on the mat.
How many videos have I been in that have been commented on with, what are you wearing? What are those? Like, sure.
Those basketball shoes? Racist.
So, it actually kind of was like that. That's kind of messed up, dog. Can't be a wrestler. Only white guys can wrestle.
Those are obviously basketball shoes. In fairness, the Nike brand, they do look bulkier at the heel and they have a higher upper.
Yeah. That ankle support for...
So it does kind of sort of resemble a basketball shoe.
Yeah, but guess what?
All of Nike shoes are kind of like that now.
Guess what, guy who said that? You don't have an ankle that touches the ground. So remember that high ankles shoes are the best thing ever for people with flat feet and no ankles. So remember that.
Oh, you know who said it?
I could, if I look hard in my memory, I could think about it.
I don't care.
But I don't really care enough either because I don't know you. But still, flat feet. But yeah, no, I definitely. But
that was the best feedback I got. Oh, there was another little bit of feedback from somebody that was like, well, in my culture, and this is not even a jiu-jitsu person, they're like, we take off our shoes as a sign of reverence. And I was like, well, I think you're closest to the truth here.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of it, and I'm not trying to sound like a fucking conspiracy theorist.
Dun, dun, dun. Need some music.
But a lot of it is about changing the dynamics of power and making sure that you know that you're not in your space. That this is a space that has separate rules from the rest of your life. When you come here, there's no shoes on the mat. This is how we behave. This is how we do shit. And it helps keep order.
Yeah.
I really think that's the actual intended purpose of it, is to fucking control the room. Because otherwise, if it was cleanliness, they would make you wash your fucking feet. Every school would make you wash your feet. It wouldn't be like, 1 to 5% of schools allows a station on the side of the mat for you to wipe your feet off with like a disinfectant designed for skin and then step on their mat.
Yeah.
Less than 5% of fucking schools have that.
Yeah.
So it's a fucking work. It's not just about being clean. It's a fucking work. It's about making sure that when you step onto that mat, you know that you're somewhere else. That there's rules that you must follow that may not come naturally to you. That you must give in to the culture. You must. And I think that is elements that are healthy. It keeps some people safe. Having tradition can keep people safe. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like, everybody should be wearing shoes on the mat. You're going to riot in the streets. I'm just saying, have you ever really thought about the fucking reason? The reason. Not the reason you were told, but the person who you give fucking money to. Because they were just told the reason too. They probably never fucking thought about it. They were thinking about arm bars and shit. They weren't thinking about why. The only person who would probably tell me a real reason why probably won't speak to me ever again. The only person who I would actually trust with the question to give me a legitimate, historically based answer would be Pedro Valente. Because I bet he knows. I bet he knows every aspect of when it happened and why. If your belt is about retention, which is about money, why do you think your fucking shoelessness is about respect? Maybe you're being worked. And maybe you're being worked for the good of all of us. But maybe you're being worked. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Because I thought about it instead of just like listened.
It's starting to change though.
I can't even listen. It's not in me. It's not in me. I have to think for it myself. I have to skin my knee. I gotta break my nose. And then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you can't do that. I'm like, oh dude, you can't live like that. You gotta change it.
So who are you talking to? It's like, you know me. I said, there's a lot of things I don't even know. You tell me, hey, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, I'll try. So,
oh no, nigga, don't do that. That's 3 to 5.
That's 3 to 5. He said every black man's, you know, at least a paralegic.
A paralegal.
Paralegal.
A paralegic?
Oh, a paralegal. Sorry.
All right, enough about the shoelessness and the shoes.
But last point is that it is changing slowly.
What
There
do you
are people, black belts, even in this area, who are now wearing wrestling shoes on the mat occasionally. You'll see it every now and then, and on like an Instagram post here, maybe a pop up there. You just show up and see.
Hey
it.
man,
I'm just saying.
if they want to join the team of the shoes,
It's slowly happening.
hey,
The tidal waves, tidal waves, tidal waves.
whatever. Post pictures of your shoes. Post pictures of you working out too. You know, it's cool.
Hey man.
It's all good.
Hey man.
So what else is going on? There was something else you mentioned at the top of the show.
Floyd.
Yes.
Floyd. Everybody and their mom thinks it's a work.
So this whole episode's about what's a work and what's not.
Yes.
Let's just keep it consistent.
Yes.
Let's talk about the work.
Well, breaking kayfabe.
So the first knockdown, I think, is why people think it's fake.
Let's pull up a video. Just walk through it. We're not gonna show it to you guys because I like having YouTube.
And they show it from several angles. One angle looks really, really fake.
Yeah.
Like, it looks real bad.
Let's see how you suppose.
But that doesn't mean that that's what really happened. So I'd like to see it.
Let's see.
It's being slow as fuck, huh?
Yeah, it is. Let's see.
It's mad at you.
Yeah, it is.
It's got feelings. You hurt them somehow.
Let's refresh it. Come on, give me that.
Refresh. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's a feminine hygiene product. Refresh. And that's how they say it, with a little shh at the end.
HBO. I wish they really. I get something. I guess I'll go. Is there anything else? I guess this one. I'll show this one. Oh, so before this even starts, do you know that the thing was is that he wasn't? They were supposed to be. He's not at the show. He's not there yet. He's not here yet. Floyd's an hour late. Floyd's this and that, but he's actually been there the whole time.
Oh, he was just chilling?
He was just chilling. He was there. Yeah, this is whatever reason the interwebs is not loving us right now.
I'm not stressed.
But we can keep talking about it. So yeah.
No, we know what the fuck the knockdown looked like.
Yeah.
So, here's what I'm going to say. I don't know if it was a work or not. I don't know. It's hard to say. I listened to what Chael had to say today.
Mm-hmm.
I think he raised a couple good points about his demeanor and how his pre-fight demeanor was very similar to his pre-fight demeanor when he had his match in WrestleMania against The Big Show.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a work. It doesn't necessarily mean that, because he's going into a fight where he knows the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what I mean. Floyd is the bigger man.
Yeah.
He's the only one who has actually made his money solely boxing. This dude kicks people, right? So now you can't kick people, and I'm fucking bigger than you, and I'm the best to ever do this. If I clip you on the shoulder and you stumble back awkwardly and fall down and hop right back up, and then you cut a little nice piece of footwork to try to change the angle on me. That first knockdown, it didn't look like he was hurt, and he didn't behave like he was hurt.
Right.
He fell over.
Yeah.
He stumbled. It was awkward.
Yeah. It was just stumble. It was just a bad stumble.
And he was touched.
Mm-hmm.
So that counts as a knockdown. I don't think that's evidence of a work. Then he took a shot. He took a shot that snapped his fucking head back.
Yeah.
And that sat him down. And he took another shot that sat him down. And then his corner was like, enough.
Yeah.
And then the tiny kickboxing man cried.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if he cried because he was like, I can't believe I agreed to doing this work. I took a dive
Right.
in front of the world. Now I'm not a competitor anymore.
Or if it's just head hurts.
Or if it was just like, holy shit, I have so far to go. I have so much to learn.
Yeah.
Because I thought I could do something to this guy. And in 2 minutes, my friend said, please stop letting this man punch me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I saw there. Now, another thing that supports the idea that it could have been a work is the fact that it was called an exhibition, and there was another exhibition on that card that was clearly two dudes in gis cooperating.
Yeah.
Famous MMA fighters. So if that's an exhibition and that was clearly not choreographed but worked through and cooperative,
Yeah.
then perhaps this was a work as well. It's hard to know. And that's the wonderful thing about Japan, baby. That's what's so great about Japan. You don't know if it's wrestling or fighting. And maybe that intrigues me to a giant degree. Maybe that makes me want to work on a project. Maybe we already started working on the project in a very loose way.
Uh-oh.
I mean, real talk.
Spoilers?
Nah, I ain't spoiling shit. That's
Feelers?
as far as I'm going to go.
Feelers?
That's as far as I'm going to go.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu is boring anyway. Unless there's like 10 guys that grapple that are fun to watch. The rest of these motherfuckers are not fun to watch.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody else is kind of boring.
Which makes sense because losing is so terrifying and horrible. And so they fight within their game.
Yeah. But still, it's boring. I don't watch jiu-jitsu matches. I have to force myself. I have to. Like, everybody's like, oh, you must love jiu-jitsu. I'm like, nah, man, I can't watch it.
Like, I love doing jiu-jitsu.
I love doing it. I love watching my friends.
I love hanging out with my friends.
I love watching my friends compete. They're exciting. It's exciting and fun because you know
But
why?
like, let's sit down and watch a bunch of jiu-jitsu matches.
Let's not. So there has to be certain
World finals.
Let's
Abu Dhabi finals.
yeah. Let's talk about the dudes who are winning and doing it like
But
cleanly.
like, I'm not just gonna sit down and watch random jiu-jitsu matches.
Let's
with
watch
you.
some purple belts compete at Worlds. Let's not. I don't want to watch. I'm gonna watch. I might watch a stall or two.
Let's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a
Let's
stall
not
or two.
say we did.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
But yeah, that's my take on the Japan situation. Like, it's blurry.
Yeah.
I think people are quick to call things works, and I think that's fun to do. But I think it could be more gray than that. I think Floyd could have also realized that he was in a situation that Chael pointed out earlier, that like, if it goes 3 rounds, they could just raise this dude's hand.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm gonna put something on this boy. I'm gonna fucking hit this boy.
Just bum rush him. Just bap 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 bap.
Or maybe he wasn't supposed to hit him. And when his head snapped back a couple times, his corner was like, hey, did this motherfucker get the message?
He's like, uh-oh.
He's about to break our toy. That's our meal ticket he's punching in the head.
Yeah, that and like it's kind of. I mean, I guess it's true. Nobody cares about what happens. Like nobody cares of the result. It's the show. It's the whole endeavor. I mean, in Japan. In Japan is more about the show than about the result.
In general.
As long as you perform respectfully.
But when you're dealing with like undefeated legend, greatest of all time, outcome matters no matter what.
Right.
It just does.
But it doesn't.
You
for
put
them.
2 people out there who are just very good or very evenly matched.
Yeah.
And they just want to see a show. But if you put someone who has that kind of a story behind them, you either want to see them succeed or you want to see them fail. That's a part of their story.
Right.
So it's not just like, I want to see something cool. You either want to see him get fucked up or you want to see him fuck somebody up.
Right. And it goes both ways for them since they're both undefeated.
So that's an interesting scenario, but yeah, nothing counts on anybody's record. So
Yeah,
Tension survives it still as an undefeated fighter.
Yeah.
But he crying in the middle of the ring and like during an exhibition.
That's
So what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? If it's an exhibition,
it means Mayweather hit him so hard that he hurt his
I
brain.
doubt that he cries in sparring sessions if he
No.
gets touched more than he'd like to.
No.
I doubt that he cries.
No.
I doubt that he's so upset that he cries. It would be kind of neat if he was. Like, I've cried after training before. Like, just didn't get any of my shit. And then, like, the rest of your life is fucked up. None of your moves work today. So it catches you at a weak point. You're
Coach
just, what the fuck am I doing?
So your coach makes you feel bad if your move's not working.
Whoa. Who would do such a thing? I put over your crazy ass moves.
Yeah, but there's some times where I've been like nothing worked that day. It's like, yeah, man. All right, let me show you the basics again, Anthony, real quick. I'm like, all right, man, thanks.
Well, look, I will show you the basic shit.
No, it was no, it's
And
not.
then I'll let you be as weird as you want to be.
No, it wasn't. No,
As long
what?
as you're willing to accept the
It
consequences.
wasn't that. Like, hey, I'll show it to you, man. It's like, no. Come here, sit down. Let me show you this move real here. Like, clearly you're not paying attention right now.
Anthony just burying your boy. You're like, the first time I met you, you're a fucking dick. Second time I met you, you're a fucking dick. And every time I do anything wrong, you're a fucking dick.
That's actually a pretty good, accurate statement of every statement up until like 3 months after hanging out with you. Up until that point, it's like every moment there, it was like I had to fight for this guy's
Well,
acceptance.
I'm racist, Anthony.
I understand that. That's fine. I get it. I understand it.
No, I seriously am in a way. I'm kidding, but I'm serious.
No, I know.
Like,
I went through it.
I have a high standard for effort of black athletes. I just do. Everything should be terrible, and you should exist in the terrible, and I think that's good for you. When you have attributes like explosiveness and athleticism, which are not solely black attributes, there's Russians that are like this. We just got one.
Right.
There are certain nationalities and races that just have a natural fucking aptitude for certain things. And, like, people act like that shit isn't real until it's time to pick teams and shit. So it's racist to say out loud, but if we do a pickup basketball game and there's 3 white kids who weigh a total of 115 pounds and all wear glasses, and there's 6 super athlete black dudes who can fucking jump through the gym, let me take a wild guess at what order you picking these motherfuckers in. Like, do we have to pull punches and play games? Are we children?
No, I agree. I'm not saying it's not wrong, but I'm just saying I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the rest of the world. I'm talking about me. Let me be
So what
selfish.
I'm saying is,
No. Before you get there, it's like I didn't know I was athletic. I didn't know I was black. I didn't know any of that stuff. I thought I was like everybody's like, man, you're just so you don't get any of this stuff, do you? And I'm just like, oh man, I'm just a normal person. And then you put it in my head that I'm strong and athletic, and I became strong and athletic. I never thought I was that until somebody told me that. I was like, oh man, I'm just a regular dude. Just work hard, just get stuff done.
yeah, and that's great.
Yeah, but then you ruined me.
Well, how did I ruin you?
You told me I was athletic,
Sir.
and strong. I'm like, I'm not strong. I can't do a bench press to save my life.
Well, there's other ways to be strong.
See, but I know that.
And as grapplers, we don't do a ton of pushing. There's pushing involved, but there's not a ton of pushing.
Right.
So benching, though overall can benefit. Like, I'm learning how my body moves when I bench. Like I'm learning how to use my legs and position myself and all that. And I think that's very informative for jiu-jitsu. The act of pushing, though, isn't that important.
Right. Right.
So it doesn't matter if you have a weak bench press, if you're a grappler. If you look at wrestlers in general, they have tiny, tiny tits and thick-ass backs and big-ass shoulders.
Yeah. But,
That's all you need to know. And big butts.
But guess what? I need to know that. I just want you to know. Just be like, hey, man, you're strong. I'm like, I'm not strong. No, there's other ways to be strong. Hey, man, I need to know that. Let me be dumb. Let me live in a world of ignorance. And then, you know what this man does to me? He comes in. He's like, all right, ask me any question you want. I've never been in this situation before. I've never been able to ask a black belt a question before. Show me Kimura. He's like, that's a dumb question. I'll show you how to do a Kimura. How do you do a Kimura? That's more like you're grabbing my wrist, sir. And then it's like, I'll show you how to do a Kimura. And then he's like, I'm done with this guy. And then he leaves, and I'm stuck with Tom. And Tom's just like, oh, you can move kind of pretty good, man. Good. I don't know what's wrong with Darren. And then, Because everybody's like, "What's like?" It's like you did it. It's like you did the Tabasco thing to me. Because everybody's like, "Sick 'em," and everybody's like coming at me like, "Oh, get the fuck up me, do this shit." Yeah, all right, man. Super cool.
Look, we gotta put him in the fire. It's been a long time since I put anybody in the fire.
Yeah.
Cause I don't choose people very often anymore. Like, but I have my chosen clique now.
Yeah. I made the cut, guys. I made it. I made the cut.
Oh yeah.
I made the cut all because
He's clicked up.
I showed up one day and I was a different person, and then Darren saw me and I didn't see him but he saw me because I couldn't see him, and then and I did something really dope, and then he's like, "Oh, yeah, you suck, but you work hard.
That's all I need.
You're on the spot, kid. You got it.
You got your spot.
You got it, kid." And I was like, "Woo, yeah, woo!" That was the best day ever. Got drunk. So it's like somebody recognizes me,
And like, look,
and then I got used for somebody else's ad.
every other academy,
You know who you are.
they can advertise and get tons and tons of students, and like, that's good for business. I don't own a business. I don't run a business, and I don't fucking want one. I have a club.
Yes.
And you don't just get to come to my club and hang out with me because you have enough money to pay me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't have kids. And worst comes to worst, I would live in my car. So I love you, but you could go fuck yourself is literally how I wake up every day. That's what I've learned. That's what my experiences have taught me in this game. I do protect my feelings a little bit more than I used to. This is not even about losing the academy.
Oh no, it was you. I remember this story too. This was another one. This was
What?
When we were back in the old place, and you just said it one day. It's like some days I just have to imagine, or every day I imagine that you all are gonna die, or all gonna leave me at one point. Because if I don't, I will go crazy and be sad that every person that comes and goes through my gym.
That's true.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That's so true. Like, I imagine that everybody goes. Because on a timeline, you will. And that's good. You'll get married. You'll move away for a job opportunity. You will have kids. Now, some people go away and come back. Some people move away and never come back. Some people move away and stop doing jiu-jitsu. Some people move away and find jiu-jitsu that they love better. Some people move away and can never find an academy they like again. All of those things are true. You know what's also true?
What?
Of all the people I've met in jiu-jitsu who have walked in and signed a waiver, and I'm talking about thousands of people.
Yeah.
Thousands. And this is how you get this fucking mindset. I have met thousands of people. Hundreds of those thousands have looked me in the eye and said, this is what I want to do. 90% of them didn't fucking do it. 90% of them just didn't fucking do it for whatever reason. Not even like went somewhere else and trained.
Just stop.
Just didn't fucking do it for whatever reason. They're going to say time. They're going to say money. I'm going to say faggotry. I'm going to say cowardice. I'm going to say an inability to prioritize their time and money. I'm going to say side control. I'm going to say stacking guard passes. These are the reasons that you didn't do fucking jiu-jitsu. You felt pressure and you found a reason not to do that shit. That's it. Now, there's still people who got on the train and started training and started working hard. And through something that I did, or even just their perception of what I did, they decided to train elsewhere.
Okay.
Good on them. Then there's people who start training, get on the train, they train, and they fall off and never get back up. Only a handful of people start and end with the same instructor. I didn't even do that. Am I still homies with my first instructor? Yes. Did I just DM him this week? Yes.
But isn't your situation a little bit different than everybody else's?
It's lightweight different. He left me.
Yeah.
But I ended up being off that team, yeah? I'm not on that fucking team. No, these are facts. I'm not on that team. So on a timeline, you're gonna part ways, is what I'm saying. It's just the way it is.
Right.
It's just the way it is. It's all of us. It's not, there's no judgment. I'm not like, and these guys, look, everybody falls off. You're not gonna be with who you're with right now. Stop being fucking romantic about it if you want to be in the game for a long time. This is your hobby. These are your friends. Remember your high school friends, you stupid son of a bitch? How many of them do you kick it with now? 2% of the people that you loved when you were 18 you even talk to now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, really fucking think about this shit. And what are you bound by? A little bit of sweat? Some fake shit like oaths? You don't even know what the fuck that means? It's not real. It's not real. And the more of you there are, the less real it is. There's 200 motherfuckers in a club. None of you cunts know each other. And most of you cunts are soft. Because there aren't 200 hard dudes in one room in this city. Sorry. Not in a jiu-jitsu academy. Maybe in a wrestling room. But 200 hard motherfuckers in a jiu-jitsu school? You're out of your fucking mind. You show me a school with 200 members, and I will show you a school with 20 tough guys. And 180 guys that keep the lights on. These are facts. Maybe 40. Let's give you 40. Let's say if you got 200, you got 40 bangers. The rest of these cunts are just holding up the walls. So just give me the 40 bangers. And you can keep your 160 people because I don't have a family, I don't have a payroll, and I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel.
Now we turn Darren down. There you go. Because he got hot. Now we just put him on simmer. So.
I didn't even get that hot.
Oh. All right. Well,
I was just getting. There was that energy in my chest.
Well, I'll make.
I got that energy.
Well, time to change your mind and make you feel a little bit better. You can go around and look at the internet meme of Kentucky police mourning the loss of donuts in the truck fire.
What the fuck? It's good that dudes have a sense of humor. They're like, oh no,
Yep.
all those perfectly good donuts.
Come on, internet. Don't
Donuts matter, dog.
Oh, whatever. It's not gonna work. Whatever.
We're good. That's enough.
But yeah, basically what it is, Krispy Kreme, the fire was extinguished quickly. Yeah, but basically there's just them just making faces about all.
So, in Lexington, a Krispy Kreme truck caught fire.
Yeah.
The cops pulled it over and they took some pictures from their Twitter account with like making sad faces and pretending to cry about all the lost donuts.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. And then other police stations and other like NYPD and the Chicago PD all chime in and they're like, oh, we're really sorry for your loss. Like,
Yeah.
that's good shit.
Yeah. So.
People sometimes act like cops aren't cool.
No, they're
just
funny.
because they'll pull you over for weed and shit.
They're funny.
Like, lots of cops are fucking cool.
So we go from funny to strange, where somebody tried to Mike Tyson another dude over some conspiracy arguments in a hot tub.
Oh, you mean by Mike Tyson, you mean bite the ear off of a man?
Yes. So.
Because Mike's done a lot of things, you know?
Wow. This is actually provable. Some of those are alleged, so let's be fair
Mike's
here.
done a few things.
It's
He's been
alleged.
convicted of a thing or two.
Alleged. Those are alleged. No, there was never.
Knocked out Mitch Green in the street.
There you go.
He's
Alleged.
done some things.
Alleged things. So, let's see. On Tuesday, police were called after this dude lost his ear because he got in an argument with another dude. This guy, which is, what's his name?
We don't need his name. It doesn't matter.
Boyack. Brian David Boyack, 43. Took a large chunk of his ear off.
Now, what was the theory that got him so upset?
So, I believe, if I'm mistaken, it was about like big banks and how
The Jews.
the big, let's see, directives learned, blah, blah, blah.
Did he say the Jews? I want to know.
They didn't say anything, but there's
Oh,
they
these cowards. If, if he was talking about banking and he was wild enough to bite a motherfucker's ear off,
Yeah.
he definitely thinks they're controlled by the Jews, and he's definitely mad about it.
Yeah, big corporation conspiracy theories where the two were in the hot tub. The victim said he worked for a big banking business, and Boyd took an issue with the fact, and an extremely heated argument began. The other day, it said, Texas learned the victim locked Boyd out of his home, and Boyd picked up patio furniture, started throwing it at his door, like, hey, man, let me back in. Let me back in. Then dude comes in, holds dude down, and bites his ear off. So,
Hey, man.
Jiu-Jitsu's advertisement right there.
And you're a banker. You should have had some money in your pocket to afford some lessons.
Henner and Huron. Here you go. I'll give you.
Go and save that guy.
Go, he's in California. Figure it out. He's got millions. I'm sure he'll help you out. And so, then the dude, they couldn't find the dude, but then he turned himself in. He's like, yeah, it was me. I bit the guy's ear off.
I bet that dude's ear off. What did it taste like, though?
He looks like a guy who would bite somebody's ear off.
He looks like a cross between my friend Matt and Keanu Reeves and John Wick. He's got like the sullen face of John Wick.
So, man. He said, I can do it with my teeth. So I killed 3 men with my teeth.
Jesus.
And then we go from the strange to the sad. So
why you gotta end it on a sad note?
Because that's the best way to end it. Everybody crying. Falling cases of beer kill 6 train passengers in Denmark. Yeah. So what happened was, and they really couldn't understand. Like,
off a train.
Off a train, yeah. So from one train to another train, but I don't think it's really called a train. I think it's a bus for the passenger train.
Okay, I see.
But basically, what happened is that they the way they stored the beer is in a tarp. And the tarp got snagged and ripped. And so because of that, when they stopped abruptly and the cases shook and fell off and KO'd 6 people on the
killed
bus.
though.
Yeah, killed them. They're dead.
God damn, and injured 16 other people.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Can we not put the beer over people's heads?
I don't know. Yeah, there's
Oh no, there is no way to avoid this.
There's no way. It's
I see. Okay, so
it's just tarp covered on one side.
It fell onto
Yeah.
the roadway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's just sad.
Beer's tough, man.
Beer's tough. I know somebody took that beer though. I know somebody took those beers. They're not in an evidence locker. Tell you that much. They're gone. I bet you money that somebody took them. This is my favorite brand.
You're like, hey man,
This
these beers are murderers, but they're delicious.
I'm gonna kill them myself right
Here's
now.
some delicious murderers.
I'm about to take them out myself.
I'm gonna execute these murderers myself.
I'm a Danish hero. That's what I'm about to do right now. Shotgun them. Let's go.
Vigilante justice. I'm gonna shotgun these beers.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
I've had enough of these people.
You had enough.
But not because I don't love them.
Yes.
Because I really, truly do.
You do, but also you need to stay tight on Keeler's social media because there are surprises and things coming out in the near future that you might want to be aware of.
Oh, are there?
I mean, you tell me. I don't know anything.
Oh, are there?
I mean, once again, you said it earlier. There was something going on. Conspiracies. So, a conspiracy is just a group of people organizing to do something.
That's true.
So, therefore, Darren's a part of a conspiracy that nobody knows about.
I am.
So.
All right, let it be known.
Yes. So watch out for his conspiracies.
I'm in the Jiu-Jitsu Illuminati.
There you go.
And now you know. XOXO. Goodbye, Internet.